A beautiful day.
Good morning.
Beautiful day. Afternoon.
What are you drinking?
I got a little Celsius.
I was drinking Celsius.
You were. You actually, my good friend Nick, got this for me.
You know what I think, buddy? Well, you've also gotten me multiple Celsiuses. Celsius on the way over. For some reason this podcast feels good when I drink my quacked coffee.
Yeah.
I could have made you this, buddy.
It is like a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just once we got this mug, it was on. That's it.
Yeah.
This is the mug, I think.
Beautiful.
Makes one giant cup.
One giant cup.
Can you see? I can't tilt it
Cup
because
of quacked.
due to physics. Anyway.
Anywho, what are we here today to talk about? We are here.
So, all right. So our next segment is we're gonna get pretty deep, and we're gonna go over our next segment. Is gonna be over the Stand Firm and Act Like Men series from Joby Martin. He goes over 5 things that men deal with, and I want to attack those head on with John. And I think that if we take a full episode on each one of those 5 things, it's still not going to be enough. But it is going to take a lot of intentional time. It's going to be very heavy, and it's going to take a lot of reflection. This one can also take a lot of reflection today, but I think this is something that is just good to go
useful.
Before. Yeah. It's something that I think a lot of people deal with, and we struggle with on a daily basis, honestly. So today we're going to go over the workplace.
The old workplace.
And
I want to start, the birds get just
house finch.
Distracted.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
The old house finch.
Yeah.
So, let's start off with why we're doing this is because work takes up a lot of people's time.
Work takes up a lot of people's
working,
time.
Think about it, 40 plus hours a week, some people.
A lot of time.
A lot of time.
Oh, sorry. That's
work.
Sorry about that. Nope. Wife.
Oh, not work.
My wife. More important.
Yep.
Okay. Continue.
So, with work being so heavily involved in your life, you're around other people.
Mm-hmm.
2, you don't want those people and your work to consume your life to where it makes it makes you unhappy in other avenues of your life.
Yeah.
And then 3, it's important to do something that motivates you, that keeps you going. So
and work's a good thing. We're here, we're here to, it's our job to conquer the earth, and we're building. And when you're working, you're building, and it's important that when we're doing that, it's for a good reason, and it's with a good goal and a good motive, the right motive and goal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important we pick the right thing to do, and then when we pick the right thing to do, we want to be in a good environment. And sometimes when you're working 40 hours a week, depending on what you do, you're going to be around 50 people, and you don't have to, they don't have to all be the person that you're going to call on the weekend to go fishing with.
Mm-hmm.
It's highly unlikely that you find all 50 of these people someone that you want to spend your lunch talking to.
Yeah.
And you guys may even disagree a lot. The problem is when we run into the work bully.
The work bully. What would that look like?
Well, you got to ask yourself. Sometimes you could be the work bully.
That's true.
That's a big problem.
That is true.
You don't want to be the work bully.
What are some traits of the work bully?
Well, I don't want to just put it in
fair.
If you're ever going to work, the problem is it's so subjective.
It is.
But for you, if you're going to work and you're already thinking Tom's working today.
Tommy.
Here we go. I'm gonna deal with this guy's ish. I'm gonna come in. He's gonna mean mug me for no reason.
Yeah.
He's telling on me all the time.
Yeah.
He's checking over my work to make sure it's not even his job to do that. He's checking over my work.
Yeah.
There's a problem that occurs, and I know that I'm gonna get the blame because Tom's been eyeing me.
Yeah.
It's stressful. That's not fun.
It is, and then it affects your every avenue of your life. You wake up in the morning, you're dealing with Tom. You come home from work in a bad mood because you dealt with Tom. It's tough. So okay, I'm John. I'm going into work. I know Tom is there. We just had a client was unhappy with one of the work. I get the blame, even though it was our entire team fault. Tom throws me under the bus. I have this resentment towards Tom.
Yeah,
it's resentment, right? How can I address this?
Well, here's the thing. Of course, I got to make this deep. First of all, we need to reflect first. Am I the problem? Fair. Is John the problem?
Did I mess up?
Maybe Tom's right.
Yeah.
Maybe John doesn't know what the heck he's doing. Yeah. Maybe John doesn't know what in the world he's doing. So maybe John's got to do some. Let's check.
Okay.
Is John hitting his marks?
But now I check it. Okay, I was not the problem in this scenario. Tom is just being.
Wait, we're not done yet.
Oh, sorry.
Is John contributing to the company's overall goal?
Because at the end of the day, that is what you agreed to.
You signed up for that, right? That you signed up like, hey, this is the company's requirements. This system, this job, this service, this needs to be completed by Friday.
Yep.
Did John do what he was supposed to do? Is he taking accountability? Okay. Is he looking to blame somebody? Now, if you've done some deep reflection, like, yeah, no, this is all in accordance to what the company standard is. I'm doing what I got to do. I'm maybe going even above and beyond. Maybe this is Tom a little bit. So now we can ask the question, how do I deal with this? So, first of all, I would recommend talking to Tom privately, right? And you got to be gentle. You can't go into this confrontation. I think one of the biggest things we could do whenever we look at this, and it doesn't just apply to work, if you're talking to somebody, keep in mind that we're all sinners and this person's hurting, this person's suffering a lot of times. So anger is generally a secondary emotion, right? So a lot of times there's a problem going on, and looking at this person, even though they're being mean to you, and this is so powerful, being able to look at them and say, they're not mad at me. Yeah. Like, don't take this personally. Like, it doesn't mean it's you. Maybe they need something to blame. Having that wisdom and understanding, knowing that maybe this is so much deeper than me, and being able to look at this objectively and not take it personally, you're going to be a strong person for that. Like that there's so much strength in that specifically. Now we can look at this and we can go to Tom with empathy and compassion, like, hey, Tom, what's going on? Like, I noticed.
So more of like checking in on Tom first.
Well, not necessarily, but yes, kind of as well.
The why behind it.
Yeah, like, hey, Tom, like, I've noticed, it seems like you're upset with a lot of the work I've been doing. I just wanted to be direct and ask, what is it that I'm doing that's bothering you? Is there something I'm doing that's bothering you? Because I don't want to upset you, and I want us to enjoy working together. Boom. Yeah, what did you got, buddy?
So you're saying essentially to come at it as more conversation based, like how can we
gentle?
How can we because you know that you have to work with Tom now, unless one of you quit or whatever. You have to continue to work with this person.
And then we can go ahead. What you got?
And then from an understanding standpoint too, because let's say Tom is going through something deep, you don't want to be an a-hole who's just coming at him. Like, is that kind of what?
Yeah, but you also need to stand firm. Like, you can't be a doormat for this guy. And if you're really strong, it's so amazing. That's when you know that, like, hey, like, you're so strong. Like, even though it's not even upsetting me, because I understand that this may be a lot different and bigger than me and what's going on with me, and maybe there's a bigger issue here, I still know it's not okay to talk to me like that. And that doesn't justify his actions. Yes. So then if you have all this and this strength, right, and you go up to Tommy, and you tell Tom, like, hey, Tom, like, you seem to be upset with me a lot lately. I just want to know what I can do, or what did I do that upset you? And then when you start asking these questions, you're going to start to notice maybe a little bit of humility. And maybe Tom has to answer a hard question. And now Tom can't make an excuse. Tom has to be direct and say, this is what you did. And then you can address that accordingly. But before that, Tom's going to have to really ask himself, did he really do something, or is this personal? And then, you know what I mean? Like, now, like, when
you can get Tom thinking.
Yeah, if Tom's mad and Tom's taking it out on you, if you ask, hey, Tom, like, what did I do that upset you? You can even be like, from my understanding, this is what I was supposed to do, and I was able to do that, so I just don't understand why you're mad at me, or if you're mad at me. Yeah. And now all of a sudden Tom's like, shoot, now I gotta figure out what he did wrong. Go ahead, Johnny.
So it seems like there could also be a world where Tom might not know that he's doing any of this.
Correct. Yeah.
Tom has no idea that, hey, he's kind of got an attitude. Yeah. Hey, he's hard. He's harsh. And in this scenario, Tom's not even this person's boss. Yeah. Right. So that it could be an easy fix as far as you just Tom.
And now Tom's like, oh shoot, I didn't realize I was affecting you like that. Yeah. And you could even be direct, like, Tom, to be honest, it upsets me, and like, I don't like coming into work feeling like you're already upset with me, or you're already mad at me. It's not fun for me. Yep. And just explain to him, like, I honestly, I don't look forward to it. I almost want to avoid it. It makes me not want to come to work. And all of a sudden Tom's like, oh shoot, I'm literally impacting somebody to the point where they don't want to come to work because how I'm treating them. Yeah. So then, but at the same time, you and Tom don't have to be best buddies. And honestly, man to man, you could tell Tom, like, like, Tom, I understand, like, we may be very different, and maybe we're not going to go hang out on the weekend, but like, as far as work goes, if we're both doing what we need to do, or it can escalate to that, it cannot, but there's levels to it.
Got it. And then so from there, Tom is done, right? Let's say we have this confrontation with someone on a very specific problem, right?
Yeah.
Something's going on in the break room. Maybe I left my lunch in there for 2 weeks and someone's upset with me, whatever. We're having back and forth. We've talked about this. I think it's important for anytime there's a confrontation to think about what that goal is.
Yeah.
What are we trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So in that specific scenario, and you got to break it down, like a lot of times, like in that specific scenario, you got to take accountability, right? I left my lunch in there too long, but you need to address it. You need to address it. Like, hey, Tom, like, I know that's probably annoying to me. It wasn't a big deal in the moment. I'm like, whatever, I'll get it tomorrow. I'm doing a bunch of things. That was a little selfish. Maybe it started to stink. Either way, it's just not. If we all did that, it would be a problem, right? Then everybody'd have a lunch sitting in the fridge.
True. Yeah.
Sorry, like I don't want to do that again. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
Are you kidding me?
Done. Accountability.
Accountability. So it really is. The goal is to, you're working for the company. You guys need to handle each task accordingly. Yeah. So if the goal is to get it out, something done by Friday, that's, like, hey, Tom, like, I know you're upset with me right now. I feel like you think I'm underperforming.
Yep.
Or whatever. Or say you guys are thinking differently. Tom, I know we see this differently. And that's okay. Yeah. We need to get this system out, or we need to get this sale done by Friday. What do you think that we can do to accomplish that together?
Yeah.
I know we're both frustrated right now, but like, can we figure out a way to do this? Yes, you can, obviously, but now let's let Tom know, hey, this is what I want. I don't want to argue with you. I just want to accomplish the task, and we're going to have to figure out how to do this. And since we're working together on this project, like, we need to be we need to understand that.
I get that. I have a question. So,
hey, buddy.
As Christian men, we're always, we have to glorify God in all we do. That can be sometimes hard to do in confrontational, heavy moments, stuff like that, right? How can you continue to glorify God in these tougher situations that maybe you're angry, maybe you're upset, whatever?
Well, we can do what the Bible says, right? And I think in these scenarios, these are things that the Bible says. It's like to go up to Tom alone. You don't need to call him out in front of everybody. See him with humility. See him with compassion, to understand that we're all broken and that this may not be personal. Go to him gently. To not attack him immediately, to talk to him softly, to show him love, to listen, to be quick to listen. Love is patient, right? So to be patient, to be kind, and also to be firm. Like if it escalates, like, hey, Tom, like I understand you don't like me, but this is not okay that you talk to me like this, and I really don't appreciate it, and I don't want you to continue to do that. Boom. That's all it may take. Then say Tom's not listening. Then maybe you get 3 people in the workplace. Like, hey, like, Tom, all of us are affected by how you're treating me, and all of us are in agreement that it's not okay.
And it might, at that point, it's a culture.
And then eventually it's like, hey, Tom, 29 out of the 30 people that work here don't enjoy working with you, and it's not even something personal. It's like, you're not allowing this to be your attitude's not conducive to the work environment and our goals. Tom, take a hike. Yeah. But that shouldn't, like, that should not be a quick, like, it is work. Work's pretty important. So, like, we don't want to just, like, if you're a boss or whatever, you don't want to just let people go because, you want to build leaders. You want to build people. You want to show them Christ. You don't just kick them out. So this is after, like, you talking to them directly, getting multiple people, trying to help them understand. And then unfortunately, at a certain point, if they're still abusing you and whatever, it's like, it is work. Like, you can let them go. Unfortunately, let them go and say they're not the best fit for your company. Or, got it. Or maybe you got to go. Sorry, last.
So we're going to dive into one of the problems. All right. But I think
show me a dive. Show me a dive. Oh wow,
well, that was good.
Ooh. You didn't swim.
I did swim team for more.
I could tell. I'm
1
sorry.
year.
No, I could tell.
Yeah, I could tell. Was?
You what?
The breaststroke.
You were good. What about the backstroke?
No, I didn't do backstroke. Yeah. I could float.
You're dense.
Okay, so a lot of our jocksters are likely managers or entrepreneurs or CEOs or whoever, right? Yeah. So they're managing other people. So you deal with a bit of a different workplace confrontation sometimes then, where you might have this employee who performs well, does a great job, does all these things, but maybe you're dealing with the Tom that is affecting 10 other employees, right? Or their culture and their values don't align with what you're building at your company. How, as a leader, and again, you don't have to specifically talk about R&L. I don't want you to. I want to talk about more of this. But how do you deal with the employee that performs very highly, but maybe they're not a great cultural fit, or they're affecting other employees and what you're trying to build?
So first of all, you need to break down what matters more, right? I don't necessarily care about just the financial goal. Like, I don't care about the result there. Like, you could be performing well, doing all these sales, but is this aligned with what we practice? And if it's not, I don't care about the result. That's bigger than the money. So if we talk to Tom, we need to talk to Tom and tell him what he's doing good. We need to, because it's true. Like, hey, this is really helping us get closer to our goal. You're contributing to our team, and like, we thank you for it. Like, you're killing it. You're doing awesome here. But this is starting to affect us negatively, and I feel like if you could change this, like, we would just all excel together.
Okay.
And this needs to happen in order to align with our company's vision and our company's goals and our mission statement. So results don't always matter that much. Like, I like the saying, like, money talks. Like yes, it's important to get good results, but you don't sacrifice integrity for that. So I care more about my team and how we're growing as people than the actual financial result of that.
Yeah. And do you think you can change that side of an employee, that you get them to be more teamwork oriented, more, or again, it could fall into the category of, well, I thought I was just killing it, and I did not take into account that I'm now draining everyone else around me.
Yeah. And this is the difference between management and leadership. So like, having a good manager, that's where you're delegating and you're hitting goals and you're like analytically killing it. But a good leader, you're building people. Like, that's what you want. And naturally those other things will happen from the proper leadership.
Yeah. And that can be hard too, right? So you're building other people up to succeed, to grow, to take your roles, which eventually they're going to outgrow their current roles, right? You see that as well. I've seen that numerous times where you're building up this team so well to either take on another leadership role, or maybe even the best thing for them to continue growing is to go to another company and you help support that.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, that's hard to do, but hey, if you're truly being that leader, you want the people that you're building up to continue.
Yeah, or they just change the dynamic of their specific role as they have it.
Yeah, of course.
You know, maybe it's way outside the box. You're like, oh, I didn't know somebody doing the inbound sales could turn it into this.
Yeah,
you know, it's
Go ahead, now I want to shift focus to now on let's say I'm the employee. I'm in the employee seat. I agreed to.
Can you shift for us in the, like, you're driving a car? Okay, what about the clutch? Oh, do you know how to drive a manual?
I did it like once or twice.
Wow,
I could do it in your car once. I think I made it maybe like 10 feet.
Oh man! All right, continue.
All right, so now I'm in the employee seat, right? This is the employee seat. I agreed to work for this company. I've been here, let's call it 6 months. I got a family to support. I got to bring in my paycheck. I'm not in a position to leave. Come to find out, as I'm here, this company was not, maybe value-wise, like, they're working me into the ground. They're not giving any money back to charity. They're not affecting the community, right? It's not what I agreed upon. So the company that I work for, I am not aligning myself with, right? And I'm in the employee seat, but I can't afford to lose a paycheck, whatever. What type of advice do we have there around, like, sometimes the company is a problem, and do I start looking for other jobs?
Yeah.
I don't think you can really change a company that well, right? From the employee seat.
That's a fantastic, good question. And the answer, it really, so it depends on what the problem is. Like you mentioned, like, they're working you into the ground. In that scenario, maybe you got to suck it up a little bit for the time being and prepare yourself for another job. But if you're doing something that is against your morals, that's a problem.
Okay.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
But as far as like how much they work you and stuff like that, yeah, that's a problem. But it's not a problem.
You're
like, you gotta you gotta just get through it. You gotta grind. You gotta provide, and then you got to, in the meantime, try to find another job.
Got it. Yeah.
But as far as like making you do things that are against your morals, no shot. Like, that's a hard line. Like, hey, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And if they get rid of you because of that, it's like, that's awesome. Good for you. You just, like, at least you took a stand.
Yeah.
And you have to provide, but like, at the end of the day, you will be able to find another job. And sometimes we need to be forced into those positions. Like, we don't realize what blessings are waiting for us.
That's right. So you mentioned this earlier, and I think like kind of that natural the final shift could be potentially looking in, right? Am I the problem? What do I want to accomplish? Yeah. That's a hard conversation to have.
Full transparency, like I have been the problem in a work environment. Yeah, I had a good job for like 8 years, and I was definitely the problem for a lot of those years.
Okay.
And it's not something I could easily realize. This is like where maturity comes in, and this is also where wisdom comes in, and this is why it's so important to have leaders. You know, the manager can make me stay on task and hit my whatever, but if I don't have a good attitude and I'm showing up to work and just really killing the workplace environment, like that hurts us so bad, and it's so negatively impactful. But at the same time, it's like if there's a good leader that's not just worried about me hitting my work quota, whatever the case is, and they're building me like that's what you want. That's what I want in my business. I want this young man. I don't want them just doing a good job at work. Of course, I want them to do good with the services they're performing, but at the same time, like I want this person to grow. Right? I want to grow. That's why leaders are so important. Yeah. So in order for somebody to even realize the problem, I mean, they can. I'm just saying it's way easier if you as a business owner have the right leaders in place to help grow these people at such a young age, and sometimes at an older age.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it obviously, if you are that younger person and you don't have that leader, I would just encourage you to reflect on the word, and pray and focus on God, and that will help you realize if am I doing something wrong? Take that hard look at yourself. Like, all right, well, is everybody saying that I'm a problem? And it doesn't always mean, and this is tricky because that even doesn't always mean you are the problem. But a lot of times if you're around a team that's been working together a while and they're doing good things and they're having an issue with how you work, maybe it's time that you take a look at yourself.
Yeah. And then I think that goes into too, if you are that leader or aspiring to be that leader, it's the surrounding yourself with great people conversation, because again, you build that quality over years, right? Over the span of your life, you continue to work on it. And so it doesn't just happen. So you need to be surrounded by other leaders. So whether that's support groups, going out to events, right?
Yeah.
Seeking out mentors, right? Maybe you worked with someone years ago and you're like, hey, would love to just talk with you for once a week for X amount of time.
That's actually a really good point. Having a good mentor can really, I say that I've never had like a good, have you ever had a good mentor?
Two.
Really?
Yeah, two. That's One's awesome. Tony Tenero. He runs C12, which is a Christian business group. He was one of my first clients when I interned at a marketing agency in Charlotte, and we still talk. I went to his house for dinner 2 weeks ago with him and his wife, cool. And helping him on some marketing stuff now. He's great to just go to. And then the other is my former CEO at our marketing agency, Eric, and we still talk to this day, cool. Just things, and they've helped me grow throughout the years. I think it was for me. I started working at a marketing agency that was small. We had 3 employees. We were dealing with. So I, as an intern, right in college, was talking directly to CEOs of huge companies, and kind of had to just jump into the deep end, and that helped me. I think people tend to, when you are successful in that role, want to mentor people, and it kind of just naturally progressed in that sense. Yeah.
Wow,
that's cool.
So clearly, a mentor helps a lot, and I do think that was a really good point you made. But anyway, I think that should help a little bit if you're having a problem in the workplace, kind of help you on how to handle it. Feel free to drop a comment, and if you guys want to hear anything else, like I said, we have a pretty important, and we may break it up with some guests in between. But did you get a lot out of that series?
I did.
Yeah, I think you guys should give that a listen to. Stand Firm and Act Like Men by Joby Martin. It's honestly it makes you think, and we do have a role as men. So to make sure that we're living how we should be is obviously that's what we got to do. So thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of the Jock and Tino podcast.
Jock and Tino,
the Jock podcast.
Cheers.
Cheers.